What's good, everybody? What's going on, man? It's Stephen Qualls II, aka Mr. Qualified. It's your boy, and we're back with another episode of Qualified TV. Man, again, I told y'all I'm getting all the guests from the crib. I promise you, y'all gonna get tired of seeing people from Milwaukee on this show, but it's gonna continue to happen because got to put on for the hometown. But man, this guy next to me, bro, is one of the amazing stories out the city. One of the amazing stories in general, but one of the amazing hoop stories out the city. I'll let him introduce himself, and then we're gonna get into the questions so y'all can learn a little bit more about him. If you don't already know, you know what he got going on and what he's doing. So yeah, let the people know who you are, bro.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm James Batemon out of the 414, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I went to Riverside High School, graduated from Riverside High School, went to Morris Marshall, that's what it's called, for middle school. Elementary, I was Hampton Elementary. So yeah, my whole life I was in Milwaukee. After I graduated high school, went to college in North Dakota, JUCO. After that, 2 years went to college at LMU in California, LA, and, and since then I've been in four different countries playing basketball overseas. So that's a little bit about me.
For sure, man. Let's hop back to the early beginnings. When did you know you was in love with basketball?
I probably say the first grade since I was about 6 years old. I mean, basketball always been around. But first grade, I knew like, okay, I want to, play basketball. Second grade, I got into it competitively at the Power Center. I don't know if you remember
Yeah,
that.
of course.
The
Yeah,
Power Center was like 24th and Burleigh, so it was
yeah,
in the trenches in Milwaukee. It was
for sure.
a neighborhood center, and I was just beginning, but I was the best player on my team and one of the best players in the league. But I didn't know much about basketball. Then I really got into it when I played for my elementary school in third grade, Hampton Elementary. Was made the team. Fourth grade, we won the championship. In fifth grade, we won back-to-back championship. And after that, like, it was my fourth grade year. We had played Kevon Looney. He was played for the Warriors. He was in fifth grade. He played for Stewart, I believe,
Mhm.
and we beat his team. And the crazy thing is, the game was 30-29, and he had 28 of the 29 points. And me and my cousin Malik Brown, he played back in elementary for Hampton. He had like 15, and I had like 13, and another dude scored a layup. So it was really like only five people scored the whole game. It's crazy that from that game, only two of us still going. But yeah, from that moment on, like that championship, I was like, all right, man, I could really be good in this. I could really be good in this basketball stuff. And then I just took it to the next level, got the grinding, man, and just kept pushing, never looked back.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, it's you hear a lot of people start out early, but rarely do you kind of know out how early like you feel like you can really be good. So you say in elementary school, you already had the kind of idea that like if I keep honing these skills, if I get around the right people, I'll be all right, or I can keep going and we can see where it goes from there.
I mean, I would say elementary school, I was when we had projects and stuff, I always put I wanted to be a professional basketball player. I
Mm.
never said NBA, but I knew, shoot, that's the only thing I knew was the NBA. I didn't know, overseas and stuff was professional basketball, but I
Yeah,
always put professional basketball players. So that's what teachers read, and yeah, me thinking at the time NBA, but that's what I thought. Like that's what I thought I was gonna do. Everybody else wanted to be firefighters, police officers, this and that, and I was, stuck on that's what I was gonna be. So I would really say, where I really was like, you know what, I really can get paid for this. It was later on in my career. It was more so like my junior year summer going into my senior year, because it was that AAU 17U. So it's the top thing. And, I was killing guys that, were ranked and stuff like that. And I was like, I deserve to be on the floor with these guys. And then my first high school game of my senior year, I used to get nervous before the game, like butterflies and stuff like that. And that was the first game of the senior season. I didn't get no nerves. Like I didn't get no butterfly, and I don't think I got butterflies since. Like I've been to championship games, all type of stuff, and I don't really get no butterflies no more. Like I mean, obviously you anxious to play, but it was like the nerves where I'm nervous. Like I'm scared to go out here, and when I realized that I didn't get those nerves no more, then I was like, man, I felt like I tapped into a different potential where I was like, I can really take this to the next level.
For sure.
And yeah.
Yeah. What do you feel like you recognize about yourself in high school that made you feel like, yeah, I'm separating myself from a certain pack while aligning myself like with another pack of players. Like when you talk about having that feeling of like I belong on the floor with these guys who are ranked and things of that nature. Outside of that, like what within your game at the time do you feel like you were seeing as like, yeah, I see myself starting to put myself in that category?
Well, at high school, I couldn't shoot worth a lick. Like right now, I'm playing professional. We'll probably get into that later. I'm playing professional in Germany, top league, and I'm shooting the lights out of the ball. I'm shooting like 46% from Trey.
Crazy.
Like my whole pro career, yeah, but I couldn't shoot in high school. I couldn't shoot, like that was my knock. But I was like unstoppable at getting to the basket. Like nobody could stop me from getting into the paint. Knew I couldn't shoot, would sag off, and I still find a way to get into the paint and finish. And I averaged like 22 my senior year, and I probably shot like 1 3 a game. So that's why I knew I was special, because I'm like, you know what? I got something that I'm great in, I'm exceptional in, I can work on the other stuff. But it's one thing, everybody, in the NBA, like be like, okay, everybody good and stuff, but NBA players are great in one thing. Like it's something that
Yeah.
they're great in. Like some people is specialize on defense, some people specialize on corner three, some people specialize on attacking the basket. Like you could look at Rondo, he specialized on creating and getting his teammates involved. Like he was a specialist in something. So I knew I was a specialist at attacking the rim, and I knew like shooting mechanics you can always learn and get better from. And when I knew that, like I was exceptional at getting to the rim. I said once I get this outside shot, nobody gonna be able to stop me. And that was like my main focus throughout my whole college career. And developing as a pro is learning how to shoot the three. And now that's my best skill now, and it's crazy. If you look at team scout reports, that's the first thing is don't let them get no open threes. So it's crazy how it went from I couldn't shoot a three to now that's my strongest strength. So yeah, it's crazy how the tables turn.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's crazy, bro. 46% is wild, first and foremost. For y'all that don't
No,
realize,
I'm shooting right now. I'm shooting pretty crazy right now from the trade. Like I've been,
said the clip
and and,
loaded.
and the crazy thing is I broke my hand
Dang,
earlier
how
this
long
year.
ago? Oh,
So it
this
was it
calendar
was
year or this season?
yeah. So I was out 2 months. It was this season. This season
Okay.
I broke it in probably, let's see, my people got here in December. I think it was December, maybe December. December. I was out 2 months though.
Okay. Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was December, like early December, because I went home. For around Christmas. Yeah, early December. I fractured my third metacarpal, so it was like my middle finger. I
Okay.
fractured it through the knuckle, and it went all the way
Ooh.
spiral fracture. So it went from my finger through my knuckle all the way through my hand. So yeah, so I came back, and I'm still in pain now shooting, but I just like shooting is just to be like it's second nature now, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, now that's crazy when you got a touch like that. But yeah, so when you finished at Riverside and you graduated, what went into the decision to go to the JUCO? Like obviously a lot of people don't necessarily make the choice of JUCO for themselves, but what was that decision process like for you? And how did you come to decide on the school you went to?
Well, really, I made my decision pretty much on my own. Like my parents, put it in my hand. They was like, they didn't too much know about how basketball. Nobody knows unless they've been in the past. So you can hear from this and that, but you don't really know unless you got somebody who, went through it or trust somebody who went through it. And I didn't really have nobody like that in my corner, so I didn't even know what JUCO was, junior college was. Like I'm saying JUCO now, but I didn't even know. I was saying junior college. Like, what's that? Like they like, oh, it's community college. Like so. Yeah, I didn't even know what that was. I actually visited a couple D2s, and I was like, I was one of those guys where I was like, man, this D1 a bust. Like I put in too much work and blah blah, but I didn't have no D1s who was ready to pull the trigger. It was some that was like, maybe like interest, but we ain't gonna pull the trigger. So it was like go D2 or take a chance on myself. And I was confident in my abilities, like that I was gonna be able to take off once I went there. So I was like, cool, man, I'm gonna go JUCO, whatever y'all said this JUCO stuff is.
Yeah.
And luckily I chose the right one that I mean he let us play and let us showcase. But hey, it's tough, man. Making it out of JUCO is tough. It's a
Right.
lot of dogs in JUCO who just don't make it because attitude or grades or just be on some bull, man. And it's crazy because I had a couple guys who was good, but they ain't even get a chance to see the flow because they had attitude issues or something like that. So yeah, man, it's a lot of dogs. Everybody on the same thing. Everybody want to go D1, but y'all whole team ain't going D1.
Yeah.
Y'all whole team ain't going D1. Good pass, thank you, Daddy. Y'all whole team ain't going D1. Yeah, I don't know why he's still up, man. It's 12:45 out here in Germany. But yeah, so what I was gonna say, so yeah, back to that JUCO. I was like, I had to decide whether I was gonna go to North Dakota or Minnesota D2.
Mm.
And when I said I was going to take that chance on myself, I was all in, bro. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be away from my family. Uh, I really didn't care at the time, man. I just wanted to be great. So it was an easy decision for me because I just wanted to be great. And that was my mindset going into it. Like, I don't care. I'm in the middle of the nowhere. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to party. I don't want to do nothing. I just want to go to the gym and go so I can go D1. And after my first year, I had a couple offers. But they were like slow major HBCUs, and it would have been nice. But I'm like, I'm thinking pro. I'm thinking after this, so I'm like, I need to go somewhere, that's gonna give me a better chance to go pro. So I end up going back for my second year. After my first year, I was honorable mention All American, JUCO All American. Um, I think I averaged like 20 points. I came back and I averaged like 23 points. I end up being like top three or something like that all time in scoring for my school, my JUCO. And I was second team All American or first. I can't remember, but it was first or second team All American my sophomore year. And then I had a couple more offers that I had, and that's when I ended up deciding to go to LMU.
Okay. Yeah. And well, actually about JUCO. So I interviewed, this is I think about 3 years at this point, but I interviewed Donovan Jackson a while back, and he had a lot of the same
Oh, okay.
comments about JUCO,
Yeah.
about being a lot of dogs there. What did that?
Yeah, he was actually like in the same. It was like district, kind of like how our district was, because he was in Iowa. I believe he
Yeah,
went to Iowa. He went to Iowa Western or something. So they was in it. We had to play them where their district and our district played for the championship. Whoever won that get to go to national.
got you.
So my
Okay,
sophomore, my freshman year, we beat Indian Hills, which was who won they district that year to go to the national tournament. So I went to the national tournament my freshman year.
okay,
And second, my sophomore year, we lost two games, man. We was like 34-2, but we didn't get an automatic bid. We got upset in the tournament. So and we end up season was over like that. Yeah, but it's a lot of dogs. To piggyback on that, man, it's a lot of dogs, dog. It's a lot of dogs, and everybody want the same thing. Everybody say, "Oh, I'm about to kill. I'm about to go D1." Everybody can't unless you at one of them Florida or like Texas one, where it's like okay, maybe 7, 8 people going D1. Man, you all the way in North Dakota, Minnesota, Indian Hills, they have some dogs, so they was getting like 4, 5 D1s. But other than that, it's one, maybe two dudes going D1 from your school. So
That
I mean,
yeah, that environment, especially when you talk about not being at one of those major schools where you may see a lot of people going D1, that environment, bro, like what did it do for you? Like obviously you were already in the mindset of I want to be great, like this is what I'm trying to do. I have my personal goals. But when you got there and maybe saw like, oh, it's other dudes that like maybe just as hungry or might, or got the same goal I got. What did that do for your mentality in terms of yeah, that if it was an extra motivation, if you even needed that, like just speak to that environment and that competitiveness in that specific like lane, the JUCO specifically.
but well, really, what narrowed it down for me is a lot of those guys was coming from close neighboring cities like Minnesota. Most of them was coming from Minnesota. So they was always trying to go back home and stuff like that. So I knew I had the advantage there because I knew it wasn't no going home for me. Like I was 8 hour drive. I was only going home for Christmas break type stuff.
Yeah.
Like so I knew I had the advantage on them because they was always trying to go back. Like they had, everybody was hungry. Everybody wanna go D1 and kill, but when it's time, like they get bored and ain't nothing to do. They out here like looking for the girls, and we in the middle of nowhere. Like it ain't nothing out there. So,
Yeah.
uh, like for me, the environment was just like it was intense, and like the preseason and stuff was intense. But I was always trying to outwork them, so I would go put up extra work, and I had people, wanting to tag along because they ain't want to get passed up. Like everybody, like, oh, who is dude? Why you going to the gym? Oh, I'm finna go shoot too then. So it was the environment was crazy. It was something that built me. I say it built me more so better equipped than D1 college did because once you D1, like everybody, you getting catered to, bro. Like the meals, the luxury, everything, bro. You getting catered. Like JUCO, you gotta get out the mud. Like it ain't everybody ain't doing this for you. Yeah, get your own meals. Ain't none of this free this and free that. When you got a free meal, you eating at the deli. Like D1, it was they was catering to us in D1. So like that's why I say this environment kind of got me ready for like the lifestyle on the move too, because your teams are always different because you only got 2 years in JUCO.
Mm.
So you're gonna have every year is gonna be some new people and somebody gonna be leaving this and that. And that's how it kind of is like professionally when you play in different countries. It's like I'm on the move every year. So it's like I would love to eventually find a home where I'm like somewhere for a couple years, but right now that's how it is. Every year you want to move. So
Yeah,
yeah, that JUCO man, that's a different breed. I salute anybody who can make it out of JUCO because it's different. It's different. Like it's a different type of grind. It's a different type of grind, man.
for sure. For sure, man. Well, now talk about that time at LMU. And so what does LMU stand for? I don't want to get the wrong college.
Loyola Marymount
Well,
University.
right, for sure.
So it's in LA. Yep. So
Yeah,
Loyola Marymount University. So Hank Gathers
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
went there. It's a legendary school for that because they was killing back in the day back then. But yeah, that's my alma mater. So
Good.
man, my years there, I came right in. It was a different environment. Shoot, you had guys who was just as skilled as you, and he recruited multiple point guards. So coming through the preseason, dog, I was ranked the third point guard on the depth chart. Like after the preseason was done, and we did the summer workouts and stuff like that, just because it was just like different adapting. Like I
Mm.
mean, the other dude came from JUCO who was playing, and the other dude was a freshman, but he was just killing. He could shoot, and he was just a skilled. He was skilled, and they just kind of adapted faster to the college level than I did. So yeah, after that, like he gave us our speeches before we left and let me know, you're the third point guard on the depth chart, blah blah. So I went home after the summer, and I'm like, man, I didn't want to kick it. I didn't want to do nothing. I'm like, bro, I'm third. Like I ain't finna play. Everybody back home, like you D1. I'm like, I'm thinking like I ain't finna play. So I got to work. I was in the gym double time. Once I got to school, came back to campus, I'm in the gym double time, just putting in the work, and gradually, like little things happen. Where you just say like, it's God's work. Like, I mean, I don't never wish no injury upon nobody or nothing like that for basketball. I'm never that type of dude. But one of the players he had got hurt, so he hurt his knee, so he was out for a little bit. So that automatically moved me up then. And then when I got that, when I'm on the second team, now I'm killing with the second team. So now I move up to the first team. And then he come back from injury. But now I'm with the first team. I didn't got a rhythm now. I didn't got confidence. So now I'm up there and I just got stuck in the first scrimmage. I had like 20 in the first scrimmage and it was a lot from there. Like I ain't moved. And it's crazy how it worked out because it's like you go from third on the depth chart. Then when the first scrimmage come, I was the only one scoring. Or I had like 20. We ended up losing by like 20, but I had 20. And after that scrimmage, he was like, "We running everything through James, blah blah. He's our number one option, blah blah." And I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. Like how the coach, I had a crazy coach, dog. He got me prepared where I can't have no, meaner, angrier coach, like somebody who don't even use basketball tactics. Like mentally, he was doing stuff that ain't even, bruh. Trust me, this shit wasn't right, bro. He was doing stuff that didn't make no sense, dog.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just having him as a coach and him having confidence in me and how he was stern on it, bro. The rest was history. And my first year there, I ended up being second team all conference. But I had a crazy explosion in the conference tournament. I ended up having like 27 against Gonzaga. I think they were like top 10 in the country that year. So yeah, man, my line started buzzing after that. Like, oh man, he put 27 up on the number 10 team in the country. Like blah blah blah. So then I started getting calls like, well, you gonna declare for the NBA draft after this year? And I'm like, dang, like I ain't know what to do. Like I'm like, what? Like I'm getting calls like that, agents calling me, stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, let me see. So I end up going to ask my coach, like, what do you think about it? And he crushed me, dog. He crushed me. He just let me know. You think you're ready to go to you're not an NBA player. Like you're not this.
Yeah.
Like you're not that good. Like he crushed me, bro. He was like, and he was like, you need school type stuff. But when I look back on it, he probably didn't believe half the stuff he was saying. But he knew if I left, like his job was in jeopardy because I came.
Mm.
We won 10 games or 11 games that year, and the following year I came back. We won 20.
Mm.
So we had the most wins since like 1980 something. And shoot, he got another 2 years on his contract after like that was solidified after that, after 20 win season. So now looking back on it, I knew he was just doing what was best for him and his family.
Mm.
But it kind of fucked up what I had going on because I probably could have declared blah blah blah, and I played a whole senior year. Nobody knows this really with my team, but I played my whole senior year with a partially torn patella tendon. So from the preseason, I knew it was messed up, and I was asking the trainers, "Give me there." They just like rehab, rehab, rehab. You good? I'm like, man, my knee ain't right. My knee ain't right. Man, I played the whole season. First team on conference, averaged 17 points, 16 points, and 20 plus wins. And finally, at the end of the season, they finally take me to get an MRI. I see that it was partially torn. I needed a PRP injection. And then all the NBA pre-draft workouts that I had, I couldn't do because I was rehabbing from my knee, patella tendon. So yeah, so it was like, damn. I was like, all right, what next? So I signed an agent, and he was just like, you had a great career, blah blah blah, but you injured, you ain't doing nothing, and not that many teams want to take no dude who just coming off an injury, blah blah blah, as a rookie. So my first country, I started in Latvia. I was making what like 2K a month,
Mm.
and I had my own house, but it was like a one bedroom, one everything. Like I had a kitchen, bathroom, and then the bedroom was the whole living room and everything. Like it was all in one. So yeah, that's how that came about. But my college career, man, I had a great college career. I reached 1,000 point club at LMU. Um, I forgot how many assists, but it's they got record labels in the hallways when you go there. So yeah, man, I had a great career. I loved LA. Everything about LA was fun. But yeah, like I said, from JUCO to there, it was more so like the work. They just had more resources. That's the only thing. Like people ain't they didn't really force you to work. It was always on your own, but they just had more resources where they had more coaches ready to rebound or
Mm,
more gym time. You ain't have to share a gym, or you can go always get in the gym every like you couldn't do that at JUCO. Well, my JUCO at least. So that's why I say you had to grind more because you really had to want it in JUCO. Like it was catered to you at the D1 level,
yeah,
especially after you killing. Especially after you killing, you good.
for sure. Yeah, no, that story about your junior year though, man, that's tough because I was initially gonna ask, do you feel like your coach was just instead of crushing you, do you feel like he was just kind of giving you tough love and maybe just saying like you needed more development? But I wasn't even thinking about it from the standpoint of him looking out for himself, which makes more sense given the way you told the story. So I could see how it's more so that, but that's and then especially with what happens your senior year, you just talk about, unfortunate like, turn of events and how and I don't know if you're a person that like deals in regret or anything like that, but I would imagine it's those thoughts of like, man, if I had declared, if I was able to go through, my pre-draft workouts and just see what coaches may have saw or just see what a team may have said and how that may have looked like. Obviously, it's in the past and your career is where it's at now, but that's just tough, man. I can only imagine just how even hungrier it made you, once you started, going overseas and playing. And do you think the overseas grind, like when you talk about like getting over there, having X amount of money per month, like that being your living situation, and again, now you in a country where I'm assuming at least for the first year, like you were away from your family again, of course,
Yeah.
thing like that. So like you say, that JUCO grind kind of prepared you, but was the overseas grind, is it even comparable? Like, or is it a step up in terms of grind? Like, what is that overseas grind like when you're talking about having to move, countries almost, every season, and then how do you kind of work your way up when you playing overseas? Like when you first get over there, are there rookie scale contracts, or is it just more so about how much you killing? Like how does it work exactly overseas?
Well, well, I would say for first off, like they're gonna lowball. It ain't really rookie scale contract, but they're gonna lowball you because they say you ain't never played European basketball because it's a different type of basketball in college,
Mm,
NBA, European. That it's you got the European style. Then you can go down to some people play in like South America or something, and that's a whole different basketball. That ain't European basketball. Somebody could say like I play overseas in Argentina or something. Like, that's overseas, but that ain't no European basketball. That's a whole different type of basketball down there.
yeah,
So they will lowball you because you don't understand the concept of their game yet. Because they more so all about teamwork and uh you know being methodical. And in the US, it's about teamwork, but you get a chance to show your individual talents with a lot of ISO dribbling. They don't like all that dribbling. Nothing. They like making quick reads. The only person who dribbling is the man. So if you ain't the man right away, you ain't doing all that dribbling or
right.
getting all them ISOs. But I can say for um like the grind, I would say it's easier than college because you don't have no school or nothing. In my first year, I was out there by myself. Uh, Shoot, I was already salty that they was lowballing me. But shoot, I had to start somewhere,
Yeah,
and I'm like, this is the place where I can start. Somebody who had faith in me to start there, so I had to start somewhere. And then the grind is just different because like once you get here, everybody got families and stuff now. Like in college, y'all was kicking it. Everybody was, spending time with each other in the dorm rooms and stuff. And then you get here, niggas going to practice, niggas going back to their families. Like that's it. Like nobody hanging out really. You might have a couple friends that you'll hang out here and there, but then you got now I was the only American on my rookie team, but normally you might have a couple Americans and you will hang out with the Americans, but you don't really too much hang out with the foreigners like that. Like unless you find some real cool foreigners. Like so I would say like the grind is still tough, but in its own way because you can got all the time in the world to work on your game. It ain't no school, no nothing. So you just got gym, home. So all I do when I'm overseas is play the game, go to the gym, play the game, go to the gym. So I might, hang out every once in a while because you need to just to clear your mind so you ain't, stuck on basketball. But yeah, man, that's it.
Yeah, man.
So and leveling up, the leveling up part I didn't really cover. Really, it's so many leagues, bro. But for Europe, I'm not too familiar with like other countries, but for Europe, you got like the small countries. Like I was in like Latvia, blah blah blah, and then you start moving up to the like major countries. So at the top is Spain, and
Mm,
like they top league is the best league, and then you got underneath them, you got like France and Germany, where I'm at. You got Turkey, Italy, all them like in the same. Then under that, you got like Greece, and you might got like Serbia, stuff like that. So the major countries, bigger countries, obviously be having the better leagues. But then you got like the top league, then you got second league, third league. So my second and third year, I was playing in the second league in France. So I wasn't even in the top league in France, and I was killing there. And every time you would kill in the second league, and you would be like, "All right, what's next year?" And they'd be like, "Well, you only was playing second league, so I ain't giving you that much money because we don't respect the second league type stuff." So you always working against something. And then I got hurt my second year pro. So my rookie year, I had a great year. End up going to second league France, and I was killing that, man. We was first in the rankings. I was like top in MVP race through like the first 11 games. But that was the COVID year, so we was missing so many games, stop and going, and I ended up spraining my PCL in March. And since I did it in March, you would think March is like towards the end of the season. But for us, we barely even played 10 games because of the COVID. Like so many games got canceled. So I ended up having to come back for a second year because I ain't have none. Like nobody really wanted to fuck with somebody who had an injury and only played 10 games. So then my next year, I played the whole year and was killing. But I was, for me, I made a decision to go for the money, which I want to give some insight to like those who just starting, going overseas. Like, don't always jump for the money right away, because I went for the money and I was in a situation where the team sucked, but I was getting paid some nice cheese, and we end up getting relegated, which is we was finished last, second to last or last place in the league, and you drop down. So we was already in second league. So when we finished in the bottom, you drop down to third league. So the team I was on dropped down to third league. So like nobody really want to sign. Like you can be killing, but nobody really want to sign nobody who was on the team that got relegated.
right.
Like so now I had to was like, you know what, I'm gonna take a pay cut this year. I ended up going to Greece to start the year. I had a buyout in my contract, and a team from Germany bought me out in the top league in Germany. And so I've been killing since I've been here. First 10 games, I've been averaging like 17 and 3 off the bench too. Uh, so yeah, man, it's just like you just want to keep leveling up, and don't go for the money right away because sometimes you just need to put yourself in a position where you can showcase your talents on a bigger scale. So then those big money teams see you. So now I'm setting myself up where next year, man, I could be getting some really nice money playing in a really nice country like that got stuff. Because a lot of these countries be so small, nothing to do. The city be small, like so. Yeah, like man, I don't go for the money right away. You really want to go somewhere where you value. You're gonna get a chance to showcase your talent, and you want to be in the best situation that helps you level up. Every year, you want to level up. And every year you want to try to double your money unless you betting on yourself. Because like this year, I took a pay cut. I took probably I was getting probably a little bit over half of what I was making last year. I took a pay cut. And now I done made that back already after I didn't got bought out from my contract. And even next year now instead of doubling, I might triple my money
Mm,
just because of what I'm doing, like the year I'm having. So yeah, man, that's why I say like don't always run for the money, man. You want to go where you can showcase your talent and you want it, and it's the best situation for you.
for
So
sure.
that was me.
For sure. And outside of the money aspect, where else do you think hoopers go wrong in general when they have to take that route and go play overseas, like when the league don't become an option or they don't get there, when they thought that they would have? Where else do you think hoopers kind of go wrong in their approach, if you
They
will?
get homesick. It ain't really that. A lot of people can't survive being away from the crib. Like, and on top of that, being away from your country is a different story. Like, it's when you in a different city, okay, man, I'm away from home. But when you in a different country, man, nobody speak your language. You coming home, you talking to yourself. Be days. I got my girl and kid here with me now, but when they ain't here, it be days I come in, I'm laughing with myself, like talking to myself, telling jokes, saying jokes, something that happened in practice. I'm talking to myself around the crib, like nobody else speak your language. Sometimes they ain't that good. Like in this country, they're pretty good, but when I was in France, their English was terrible. So I think guys get homesick, and then I think guys always, say like either the coach don't like me or something they try to make an excuse for, but it's sometimes it's the wrong situation. Like that situation just wasn't for you. Because like I know a guy who was playing somewhere and he wasn't doing nothing. I thought he was trash. He get on the right team with the right coach, MVP candidate of a top league like that quick. So it's really just about opportunity situations and stuff like that. It ain't really about like it's about your mindset, how you take on different things. And some people already, they want to come and think, oh, I'm about to be the man. I'm about to kill and blah, blah. No, you got to wait your turn and work your way up. So, yeah, man, I don't think it'd be more so them. I don't think it'd be the money issue. Really, I think it just be people be homesick and then going into situations that ain't for them. And that's what kind of messed them up. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, I feel that, man. You brought it up, and I was hoping you did because I wanted you to go in a little bit more in depth on it. Talk about fatherhood, bro, and talk about family for you, like right now. Like, what is that experience like? What is it like having that responsibility while also having that responsibility to yourself of being a professional, and then, like you said, dealing with you being in another country, like your family is there with you. But yeah, just
Yeah.
talk about that, bro. Like especially at our age, I just think about like managing all those things. Like it's funny, like we really adults now, you know what I'm saying? So when we
Yeah.
was
Yeah. Yeah. For
kids, we
real.
talk about it like it felt so distant. And now we hear and it's like high school wasn't so long ago like it is, but it ain't. So yeah, just talk about, how you are navigating those things right now.
Yeah, man, I love it, man. It's the best job I done had in my life, dog. Like just watching him grow up and look, he wanna get in the camera right now. Say what's up.
What's
Look
up?
at it. You need to go to sleep, boy. Yeah, but just watching him grow, man, every day and just, being able to be around. But like first and foremost, I want to salute his mom. for like the sacrifice that she take, because she gotta, she was working when she was there, but she come all the way here. She don't work. Like I, take care of all the financial things and blah blah blah. But she do school overseas, so she do school online, and so she take a big sacrifice, to be here with me, so we can make this thing work. So I'm being able to be in both of their lives and keep our relationship going while being able to be in my son's life and watch him grow up and also teach him, discipline things because you know how little boys is like, they gonna listen to their dad before they listen to their mom. Like they gonna, try to sweet talk their mom when they get the chance, and then dad, they know it's, more stern, blah blah blah. So yeah, man, the sacrifice that she take to make this thing work, I salute her. I give her all the credit, especially like on game day. Like I got to take a nap, and the baby, he up, he playing, but I got to take a pregame nap. That's what I do. So she makes sure she hold it down when it's road games and I'm on the road and I got to go. Make sure she hold it down. So yeah, man, she take the most, sacrifice out of everybody to make the thing work. So I salute her for that. But yeah, just being around him, watching him grow up, like you see so many people like, stop hooping overseas who got kids because they can't be away from their kids. And I was away a couple months when he was born. I was able to come to the birth, but then I had to go back to work uh for a couple months once he was born. And then they was living with me all last year. And then at the beginning of the year, the first half of the season, first 4 months, they stayed back so she could finish her semester at school. So I was without them. So like those times, man, it'd be so long, and you realize like when they is with you, you realize like how big or how I would say much of a sacrifice it is, but then how awesome it is to like grow up, or watch your son grow up in front of your eyes because they grow so fast, man. Like the first time when I was away, I was there the first week of his life. Went overseas, came back 3 months later, and dude, chunky, like eat heavy, and I'm like, whoa, like last time I was holding you, I could hold you with one hand. Now I need to use two hands to hold you. Like you that big, like he turning his neck on his own, like so you miss it that quick. Like so he barely walking when you leaving the crib, and then he running once he get to you again. Like it's crazy how stuff work, man. And it was for me. It was like a heartwarming moment. I came home and I was like, I wonder if he's still gonna remember me because he ain't seen me in so long. He young, and he did, and he was like smiling and happy when I came in, and I was like, yeah, that's what's up, man. That stuff is just heartwarming. So man, fatherhood, man, I love it every day. Just playing with them, dealing with them, watching them grow up, and just teaching them stuff. And when he playing with a basketball and shooting and saying "Let's go," like that stuff be the man. The littlest stuff be the biggest thing for me, dog. So I
Nah,
love it.
I feel that, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, man, we done talked about a lot, bro, and I feel like you done talked about a lot of gems or dropped a lot of gems just about like for hoopers in general, but also especially hoopers who either are gonna go through that JUCO grind or who have, or people who are gonna have that like overseas grind. But with everything that you feel like you've like persevered through and that you navigated to get to the point where you are now, how would you describe like what makes you qualified?
What makes me qualified really is just my will to keep going. My will to keep going, man. I say that's what makes me qualified because a lot of people, they give up when they face the type of obstacles I faced, or just their own in general. Like it's people who went through worse stuff than me, and people who went through easier stuff. But the difference is why I'm still going is I just kept fighting. And some of them, couldn't. Their battle was too hard to keep fighting. And just some of them still is fighting, and that's why they still going. Like I mean, just keep fighting, bro. Like that's what made me qualify because I'm a fighter, man. I ain't gonna give up. Like I didn't been battle tested. I done went through. some crazy stuff went through people, not trusting me, believing in me, this and that. And I just kept fighting. As long as you believe in yourself, man, that's what makes you qualify. Everybody got to believe in their own journey, what they got going on. Shoot, like probably when you started your podcast stuff, people probably laughed at you, joked at you. Like, bro, you wanna ask people, you wanna interview people, like that's what you wanna do. Like,
Yeah.
and I mean, you got to keep pushing. Like, no matter, it could be a chance that it don't ever take off. Your
Right.
career probably never take off. My career probably never take off. I probably never get to the NBA. I probably never get to where I want to be. But it don't. As long as I can say that I gave it my all, and it was me that I wanted to be done. I ain't let nobody force me to be done.
Yeah.
That's what made me qualify. Because I'm gonna keep pushing until I'm done.
So yeah, man. No, I love that answer. For real, definitely love that answer. Everybody definitely got to believe in yourself first, or nobody
Gotta
else.
believe in yourself, or nobody else will.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I know you tired. I know it's probably been a long day kicking it with your family and everything, man. I want to make sure you go ahead and get some sleep. But thank you for taking the time today, making the time today for us to get this done. I appreciate it. We'll have your socials and everything for people to be able to follow you and keep up with everything. But is there anything else you want to share to the people before we end the episode?
Man, I just say like I said, man, as we already stated, man, just keep fighting, man. Everybody going through their own battles. Everybody going through their own struggles, man, and you never know what nobody going through in life. So just treat people with respect, man. Treat people how you want to be treated, man, and just keep fighting. Do whatever you got to do to keep fighting and obtain and achieve what you want. And yeah, that's really it, man. Thank you for having me. Uh,
Of course.
I, yeah, I appreciate the opportunity. I hope that like I got to do more research now and look into your stuff now. Sometimes you on social media, you just scrolling, like
Yeah,
you
for
see
sure.
some stuff, and
Absolutely.
sometimes you just scrolling. So I'm like, oh shoot, like he got a little podcast thing, okay. So yeah, man, I'm thankful, honored, I should say, to talk with you and chop it up with you. That's why I wanted to make sure I took the time out my day and just sure we help each other, man. I help you, build your platform. You help me build my platform. Like that's what it's supposed to be. Black people helping each other, people helping each other in general.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, man, I ain't really got nothing else more to say other than thank you, appreciate it, man, and yeah, hopefully we can do this again one time where we both in a different
yeah,
stage in our life and both at a higher level.
for sure. For sure.
All
Appreciate
about
that, man.
leveling up, man. All about leveling up.
All about leveling up. Yeah, couldn't say it better. But yeah, but shoot, that's it, bro, man. Thank you again. The honor was mine as well. And I'm gonna let you go because I already know, man. You got your son. He's still up. Go ahead and get some rest, bro.
Still up, man.
Peace, man.
For sure. You have a good one.